Are you looking to have some fun in the sun this summer and don't want to leave your wig at home? If so, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you how I secured my wig so well that it stayed put for over 2 hours playing with my crazy kids, even going underwater. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you're notified each time a new wig review or tutorial is posted weekly. Welcome to the Wiggy Woman. I am so excited to be bringing you this tip today. I have battled with hair loss and premature gray for years and actually have been wearing wigs for quite some time. But when I go to the beach or the pool, I typically don't bring a wig with me because I have just been terrified of that embarrassing moment when a wave hits you or you dunk under the water and your wig flies off. But recently I've been thinking about summer and, having this confidence that I have on dry land, but also having it in the water and wanting to find a way to bridge that gap and secure my wig as well as possible. And this one works. You can do this with just about any wig, but for me, I found that there were some that worked better than others. For me, I did try this multiple times, and the one that worked the best was a very short style that had an open wefted cap, and that was Parker. The reason that Parker worked really well for this is because Parker is very, very short and comes up off of the shoulders, but also has an open wefted cap. And what I found is that I was able to weave the bobby pins in and out of this wefting for a very, very secure fit, but also the ability to kind of weave in and out of these different wefts made the bobby pins completely undetectable, even when I was going under the water and coming up and my hair was like completely flat. You couldn't see them, there were no pins sticking out, it was flawless. In order to secure your wig, you're gonna need 3 things. First, a really good wig grip band. Second, some bobby pins. And third, a bottle of Got to Be Glued. And you're gonna want the yellow bottle. Got to Be Glued comes in various different shapes and forms. And if you want a link to this specific type, I did put one in the description, or you can pick it up at any drugstore or Target. All right, so this is my wig grip band that I chose for this process. And I did try a couple different wig grip bands, and this one worked the best. And I think it's because it's all velvet. The other one that I really like is a one that has kind of a lace front and a lace mono. But I think that with this having so much more velvet, it just was grippier and was able to kind of secure the wig a little bit better. Okay, so the way that I'm gonna secure Parker is I'm gonna take my bobby pin and I'm gonna find kind of where the cap meets the wig grip band. So that's right about here. I'm gonna move the hair out of the way. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the pin in between one of the wefts and gripping onto that wig grip band. And then what I'm gonna do with kind of the end that's sticking out, normally bobby pins kind of have that curvy piece, is I'm going to weave it back underneath the wig so that that part is hidden by the wig cap. So that way when I'm underwater and my hair gets completely slicked down, you're not gonna see a pin sticking out because that would be like a dead giveaway that this is a wig, right? Okay, so I'm gonna show you. You can see here is the wig grip band kind of sticking out from underneath the wefting. I kind of pulled it so that you'd be able to see it because that right there is where the bobby pin is. And you'll see it kind of loops over a couple of the wefts and then back underneath the cap so that when my hair is down and it's, it's wet, you're not gonna see any change in the texture because of the bobby pin. I'm just gonna repeat this process a few more times until my wig is fully secured. Okay, so I've got all my bobby pins in now. I've got kind of 2 right here next to the temple, and I've got 2 about halfway up to the crown, and then I've got 1 more sort of right here at the top, and a couple more in the back for good measure. And I did 5 in the front and 2 in the back because really the tendency for a wig is to fall off backwards. It's more likely that, if you dunk your head back, it doesn't usually fall forward, it usually will fall backwards. And you wanna think about that when you're choosing a wig. I did try this with longer wigs and shorter wigs, and Parker was the best for me. because I think that this length, it just doesn't absorb as much water. It doesn't get as heavy, and so there's not as much of a weight to try and counterbalance with these bobby pins. Really, at this point, you could head to the pool and you would have a great time. Your wig is secure. You'll see I can pull it. My forehead moves, I can pull it back. This thing's not going anywhere. But if you're concerned, if you have a lace front wig, if you're concerned about this lifting at all, you will still get some lift if you don't have that secured down. And that is where the got to be glued comes in. When I decided that I wanted to take my wig with me to the pool, I sort of made that decision on the fly, and I wanted to be able to secure it with products that I already had at home. And that is where the got to be glued came in. There are actually better products than this for securing lace front wigs to your head. But they are very, very solid. They will gum up the lace, and this is a really nice wig, and so I didn't really want to ruin the lace. But they're also very difficult to get off. You know, they're really like cemented onto your head. Some people who use those products like Bold Hold, they say that it can last for days and days. I did not need that kind of hold. So I went with Got to be Glued because it was water resistant and it provided just enough hold to kind of be able to keep my wig in place just on the lace line. I wasn't trying to keep the whole thing on. That's what the bobby pins were for. But it did secure the actual lace front to my head pretty well, even underwater. I also will caution that the Schwarzkopf website actually does say that the product is not intended to be used to secure a wig. So, you know, keep that in mind and do your research and make sure it's the right thing for you. But a lot of people do it and it does keep the wig on really well, even when you're gonna be in the water. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna kind of put it right along the hairline, and you want to smush it down. Now you want to be really careful because you don't want all of this, you know, hair in the wig to get caught up in that gel. This gel is like serious. It's seriously strong. And so it'll kind of mess up the style of your hair. So you want to kind of keep it up and back as much as possible. And you can see just that amount that I added right there, it really changed the color of my lace because the product is white, and so it really kind of sets it off. So now what I'm gonna do is you need that to dry completely. It needs to be fully dry. If it's wet at all, then it's just gonna be gummy and it'll, you know, it's not going to protect your lace at all underwater. In order to speed things along, I'm just gonna hit it with a blow dryer on the cool setting for a couple of minutes to try and really dry this wig as much as possible. I'm gonna give it a pretty good solid tug here, and you can see it's stuck on there really well. Okay, so the Got to be Glued is pretty much dry now, and I wanna kind of get rid of some of this ridge part, so I'm just gonna hit it with a little bit of foundation along that line. I'm gonna blend it in because I wanna try and make that look as natural as possible, because that's the whole point of having a lace front wig. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps you have a little bit more fun this summer. I know it's helped me. This is like the way that I'm going to be securing my wig all of the time. It worked so well, and I mean, I did not go easy on this piece. I'll show you. I dunked my head underwater just straight. I tipped my head back. I was swimming actively, and this thing stayed really well. I did put a link to all of the products that I use in the description below, but again, the Got to be Glued and bobby pins, you can find it just about any drugstore. Also, I would love to hear from you, so drop me a line in the comments and let me know how this works out for you. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that you're alerted each time a new video is posted weekly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.